my privilege to introduce to you Dr. Scott Williams. Scott was born and raised in Lakeland, Florida. He's a graduate of the University of Florida with a Bachelor's and Master's of Science degree in Animal Science. He graduated from Colorado State University with a PhD in Animal Science, majoring in meat science and muscle biology. Dr. Williams was a tenured associate professor in animal science at the University of Georgia, conducting research and teaching in the area of animal growth and development. He moved to Kentucky in 1999 to assist his family in an agriculture enterprise and began teaching ag technology and related sciences at Owensboro Community and Technical College. In addition, he started the biotechnical program at OCTC and taught anatomy and physiology courses. He moved to administration in 2008, where he served as the chief academic officer and was appointed president of OCTC in June of 2015. Scott and his wife Donna live in Owensboro, and he's active in the community with education and science-related boards, and I will attest that he has been a real joy and delight to work with on projects. He certainly makes it his priority to be inclusive of all of our regional counties and the activities that go on to affect the students in all of those counties, and I'm really grateful to have him to be our speaker today. Join me in welcoming Dr. Scott Williams.
And please don't hold it against me that I'm from Florida, because Owensboro's home now. So we are truly, my wife and I love it here, and we've been here now almost as long as we lived in Florida. So we're grateful to be here. But again, good morning, and thank you for having me today. You know, this is a pretty special group, and I just want to first start off by thanking you all, Grad, and what you do, because you're a big part of helping to our citizens gain the skills they need to improve the quality of their life and to advance them. And so I consider us partners in that endeavor, and I truly thank you for all your support and all y'all have done and will continue to do as we move forward to advance our community. Also want to just take a brief moment and kind of explain to you, because sometimes it gets confusing, that there are 16 of us colleges, independent colleges across the state under an umbrella called the Kentucky Community and Technical College System. And as a system of colleges, we work very closely together to try to meet our community needs. And I want to assure you that here in Owensboro, at Owensboro Community Technical College, which is your community college, but you also have Henderson Community College as part of the grad district, and we work very closely with them. Dr. Chris Williams is considered a friend and a colleague. She likes to quickly say that we're not related, even though we have the same name, so don't be confused by that. But Chris and I work very well together. We work closely with Henderson to try to meet many of the needs in our community. In fact, we have a number of what we call articulation agreements, where students, they have programs we don't have, and we have programs they don't have, so we allow our students to, you know, they may start with us, but they want to go to a Henderson program, and they move right into that program, not lose any credits, and move forward very rapidly, and we do the same here for their students. So we also work closely together to share resources so that we can make things that we can optimize what we're doing for our students and you in the community. So please know that we work very closely together, and we will continue that relationship. And as resources get fewer and fewer and tighter, that strength and relationship will continue to grow even more so. So that's important to us. And so with that being said, I really want to move into what I want to share with you all today. And one of the first things I want to say is that we're facing many challenges. I think you all know that. And that is how to engage. Right now we're relatively at full employment. However, there are still many jobs, especially high demand, high wage jobs, that go unfilled because we just don't have people with the skills to fill those. And so that's a challenge to all of us, and to us in particular. And really what I want to talk about today is how we're addressing those in very innovative ways, and then how we can work together on those challenges in the end. But to accomplish that, I think it's first important that you know what our mission at the college is. And this is, remember, remember, this is your community college, this is your college, and I think it's important to understand what our mission is. And I'm just going to read that to you very quickly, and that is, our mission is to improve our community's economic development and competitive advantage by providing high-quality, world-class learning experiences through career degree programs, workforce development, and transfer to baccalaureate degree programs. At the core of that mission is to improve our community's economic development and competitive advantage. That's what you are about. That's what we are about. That's what gets us out of bed every morning to go to work and try to do that for our community and students. And our vision is to transform the quality of life in our community by inspiring and empowering individuals to enhance their lives and careers. So a key word to that is the quality of life. And I preach that on our campus. I know Dr. Williams preaches that on her campus. We're really about improving the quality of life of our citizens, your family and friends, the people in our communities. And that's what we endeavor to do. And we take that very seriously. Okay? So how do we go about trying to do that? What are some things? Because that's a core of everything we do. But I want to share with you some of the innovative ways that we're trying to do that in new and improved ways to really enhance the quality of life and economic development in our region. I'm just going to talk about a few of them because I know Jatan, y'all got a full agenda, and he's got me on a short leash. So he says I don't need to be up here too long. So let me just talk about a couple of them. Number one is something that you all here in this room, especially the civic leaders, the judges, the mayors in the surrounding communities, this would not be happening without your support, both your time and your treasure, and for that I am extremely grateful. And that is the opening of the Industry Innovation Center. I know this has been long anticipated. We went through a bill similar to what y'all did, a slowdown because of some issues that arose with the company that was originally doing the work. But that center is getting ready to open. In fact, I want to invite all of y'all to a ribbon cutting. Many of y'all have already received invitations on March the 2nd at 1 o'clock. That's right around the corner, and we'd love to have you at the facility. After the ribbon cutting, we will start moving into that facility after spring break, the middle of March. Now, in that facility, what's going to be there? That facility is going to house three of our, what I would call our high-demand, high-wage programs, and that's our welding program. That's going to house our HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning program, as well as part of our electrical program. Okay? What benefit are we going to see from this building? Well, automatically we're going to be able to increase the number of students that we can train and educate at a given moment by 50%. So we've been limited because of the space that we currently have, and this will allow us the opportunity to basically increase 50% fold the number of students we can serve at any one time. Example of that, rather than having 16 students in a welding class because we only have 16 booths, we can now bump that up to 24. So that increases the number significantly. That means students that were kind of on a waiting list can get right in, and that is important. The second thing that it's going to do for us is that because we lack the space, there are a lot of industry-related areas that we weren't addressing properly. We're going to be able to expand in those areas. A couple of high-tech areas that we are going to be now able to teach and train in includes robotics and automation, material handling. We will have a robotics lab in that facility. We will also be able to really broaden the scope of HVAC. We'll be able to talk about and train students on geothermal, solar, all technologies that are currently being used in our community. We'll be able to actually instruct students, teach them, give them the hands-on experience they need in those areas. Also allow us to do more advanced training in welding. We'll be able to do robotic welding now, fabrication, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but that will be a big benefit from having this facility open up. In addition, it's going to also allow us to expand on the southeast campus when we move off that campus with welding. We're going to be able to take our auto and diesel programs and increase the space available to them by double. That's important because that is another high-wage, high-demand job sector in our area, and it's growing, and the number of students that want to get in that program is rapidly growing, so we're going to be able to expand that and get more techs out in the industry. So we're excited about this. I want to thank y'all for your support. It would not have happened without you and all your efforts. So thank you for that very much. Another innovative way in which we're training students is called the Go FAME program. How many of y'all have heard of FAME? Federation of Advanced Manufacturing Education. It's a statewide program that we're a member of. Right now, we have under the Greater Owensboro FAME program and what we call Greater Owensboro Careers, it's really a partnership amongst the Economic Development Corporation, the college, and the Greater Owensboro FAME chapter. That now consists of about 25 companies. And what the FAME program is an industry-led educational program, which a student works 3 days a week for a sponsoring company and goes to school 2 days a week. And at the end of about 18 months, they complete an associate's degree in a number of fields. It primarily started in advanced manufacturing technicians, okay, an AAS and AMT. We have, though, in this community, branched this into literally several other areas. We've moved it into machining. We were the first in the state to do that. We actually branched it entirely outside of the manufacturing sector and into the banking and finance sector with what we call Go Careers, which students do the same, exactly kind of educational experience, but they're getting a business administrative systems degree, so working with banking and finance system. And finally, we moved into the healthcare sector with medical assisting, in which a student can come in and medical assisting program and in 12 months be out with a certified medical assisting degree. Again, same model. They go to school 2 days a week and they work 3 days a week for a sponsoring program. And that synergy of actually working in the field that they're studying enhances the learning so much, makes them so much better employees. It has been a true success story. It's also industry-led, so we're teaching the principles and the skills that the industry leaders tell us that need to be taught to those students. And so that has really transformed what we're doing. That's truly successful. We're now starting our 4th cohort of AMT. We're in our 2nd cohort of machining, and we're in our 3rd cohort of business administration systems. So we've had, over the last few years, more than 100 students go through those programs. And I'm proud to say every student that's gone through those programs has been placed in that career field. They've taken jobs in those areas. So, again, it's a statewide program, but we were the first to branch out of those areas because we heard that from our business leaders in our industry. And let me tell you, I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm going to tell you a little story about a student named Isaac. Isaac was a student that graduated here in our county system. Very good student. He was headed to U of L. He was going to go try to be an engineer in the speed school. He said, you know, though, I've heard about this FAME program. I'll check it out. So he checked it out. He applied. He was accepted. And now he is basically a poster child and runs around for us explaining how great a program that is, that it has been for him. Because what he'll tell you is this. He says, now I am basically going to be able to, I'm working in the career I want, I'm working for a company, I'm learning, I'm going to come out with a degree and I already have a job before I graduate. And it's going to be a high-paying job. And I can live right here in my community. It's the best investment I've ever made. I didn't spend all that money, and I know that I got a job and I can stay right here. And that's important because, as I'll share with you in a minute, about 91% of our students that come through Owensboro Community Technical College stay right here. They're the backbone of our workforce. Isaac will tell you that OCTC is a true gem in the community, and he's excited to tell everybody about that. And again, that's an example of where, you know, we talk about brain drain all the time. These programs are helping to minimize that. Last thing I want to briefly share with you is we're getting ready to open up a program, a very innovative educational degree program. Actually, it's a certificate program called Career Advantage. We just awarded a $400,000 grant to start this program, and this program is basically to train people to entry-level jobs in manufacturing. They really struggle with multi-skilled folks, and one of the troubles we have is that getting the adult learner engaged. Okay, those people who are either underemployed, underskilled, or unemployed that are engaged with the workforce, get them back in there. And traditionally, school seems a little too expensive, it's way too long, and so they are kind of bypass that. So this program is set up to actually be a 7-month program, open entry, open exit. They can flip-flop between days and nights depending on their work schedule. And it is created, industry-led, in that these students are going to come in and they're going to go to school 3 days a week. They're going to work at a participating company or with a company in that career area, manufacturing 2 days a week. And in 7 months, they'll come out with certificates in production welding and certificates in forklift operations. What this program will do for these folks is that the way it is designed is it's designed to simulate the work environment. So these students will not be sitting in a classroom learning theory. They will actually be working in the lab just like they would on the floor of the factory. They're going to clock in every day. They're going to be doing project-based learning. So everything is geared towards a project. They're going to be treated just like employees while they're in school. So they're going to see that in school, and they're going to see that on the work floor. Because what we hear a lot about is people don't have those essential work skills. People don't have the experiential learning that they need, and this is one way that we're trying to improve that. We're excited about this program. I wish I could say it was our idea. It's not. This is modeled after a fab school in Northern California that's been extremely successful. We got many business leaders who are excited about that program. We're going to kick it off with our first group of students in June, so be on the lookout. If you know friends and family that want to get involved, that want to upgrade, get multi-skills in robotics, material handling, a little bit of machining, and in welding, this will be a great program for them. So we're excited about that, and we're looking forward to it. But listen, we still got lots of challenges. We've got lots of work to do. We work closely with GRAD, and I want to say up front, we appreciate all your support in helping to advance and get the skills in our citizens to get them to work and get them to work quickly. We need to continue to do that. We've got to continue to work together to make sure that that makes a big impact. And I stand here before you willing to do that work, and I know that y'all are too. So please work with us as we move forward. I just want to follow up and just say in closing that we're only successful if you are successful. If our students, our community, and our citizens are successful, that's the only way we're successful, so we have to work together. And I appreciate your continued support, and anything that we can do to help you all, please know that we're here to do that. So I'll be glad. I don't know, Tim, you got a moment for a few questions?
Anyone with a question?
Be glad to answer anything.
I have a comment,
yes.
Scott.
Yeah, Jack.
I really appreciate the community college listening to the communities and cities and counties on what our needs are. Because
Absolutely.
the guys of, as far as our county, I know Christian counties have also done that. But you know, we have got a lot of industry and
Absolutely.
And we told you guys what our problems were, and you're addressing them. And you know, we're at the point, not only in Hancock County, but all of our counties, if we were to recruit a big major industry into any of our counties that needs 500 or 600 employees, I don't know that we got them.
Right.
You know, to fill these jobs. So what you guys do are great.
Yeah. And that's what this career advantage is, to try to do that, is really shorten that instructional time down to where we can get them to fill positions like that. And we do. We have, you know, I hope that you find when you come to us that we are open and willing to help. And I know we work closely with Hancock County and open the center out there. We do a lot of training. We don't just take people and go give them degrees and teach them skills through a traditional academic program. We also have a workforce solutions arm, which really works with our business and industry and incumbent training. Over the last 2 years, they've worked with over 350 companies and had either done pre and post assessments or actually trained incumbent workers, about 13,000 workers. So that is across our region, and a lot of that was done.
And one other thing we've noticed, that it used to be that the industry, they want you to have so many years of factory experience, but now they're looking for people that can actually do the work. And I think about everybody through the welding classes, some of the classes down there in our county have gotten jobs.
They have.
At a young age.
They have.
Without the experience, just having the knowledge.
And what we're doing down there is actually dual credit. We're working with some of the high school seniors, so as soon as they graduate, they've got a marketable skill. So that's very important. And please know all this is going on at Henderson as well. So, you know, I think that's important to keep in mind. So I know they're as devoted to you all as we are. Other questions?
You know, following
Yeah.
what Judge McCaslin mentioned, so I was going to also mention that oftentimes, you know, we, you know, especially myself and our staff, do hear from our elected officials either complaining about some programs, some agencies and all those things, but we never hear any complaints about the community college here or in Henderson. So you know that you guys have done a great job.
Thank you.
That being said, I'd like to see that, you know, if you and even Chris, if you put together some of the data that you already have to show the students in each of the county that come into the community college on different tracks, or it could be a skills program, or it could be a degree program, so they would know, you know, how much of these, you know, the students are getting and
Right.
taking advantage, and they can also promote some of those things. One thing that we are all facing as a region, and this may be not directly connected to the community college, but it's been totally talked about everywhere that it's affecting us, the opioid crisis.
Yes.
And you know, even though, you know, you may or may not be providing, you know, educational training in that, I believe that, you know, since you are in providing the, you know, the future labor force and everything else, it'd be nice if you would bring in the people who are affected by that, or those who have played,
Right.
along with Grant and everybody else. We got to attack this as a region, because
Absolutely.
everybody's really hitting on those
Absolutely.
things so bad.
One of the areas, I'm glad you brought that up, Jatan, is because there's two things that we're trying to address. Is number one is we have a first year experience kind of a orientation, and that is talked about in there. And basically about workplace principles, saying you're not going to get a job if they drug test you. If you know, so that's one tackle. The other thing is we're starting to move towards where programs are we're embedding these essential skills that the employers keep
Soft skills.
soft skills. And most employees around here tell us, just like you heard, that the number one reason we can't hire somebody is they do not pass the drug test. So we have started to kind of simulate the workplace in many of our career technical programs, and that's one of the ways we're doing it. We're warning them about that. Now, we can't legally drug test them, but you know, we just keep harping on that that's important. Even checking out an over-the-counter prescription drug, it could flag in a drug test, and you know, when we cause an issue, you want to check on those things. So that's a good point.
I mean, we all complain about that's a big crisis, but nobody is doing collectively what we came down.
And we do need to work together.
Right.
We are not working as a community as closely, and we want to be a part of that solution. So we're there for you, Jan, and we'll make sure. Like I say, I know our folks have worked with your staff extremely well, and let them know what programs available, what's eligible for funding that y'all provide, and that relationship is worked out really good. We'll continue to do that. It's interesting. You hear a lot in the media today about how a college education is not worth anything. Don't go into debt. It's expensive. I want you to know that we did an economic impact study in this community last year with a company called MZ. They do economic impact studies for a lot of counties and cities, some large ones. New Orleans was an example. What they found in our area, the region that we serve, okay, they went in and did an economic analysis. Is for every dollar a person spends on education, they get returned $6.50 for that dollar. The rate of return for a college education from our college was 23%. Now, I don't know about you, but I wish my retirement portfolio had a 23% return. That's pretty good. And I venture to say that's the same for Brescia, Wesleyan, Western, Henderson. So I don't think that's just unique to us. So, you know, there is a true return on that. You know, and it is a big provider. And that's the group that found out that 91% of our students stay here in this region. So they're our neighbors, families, friends, and our coworkers. I will just add that the economic impact study also showed that the community college contributes annually about $173 million in additional income to this region by the money the college spends, the money our students spend, and our alumni who are in the workforce and contributing to the economy of this community. So, and again, I'll stress, that's not just us. I think all the other institutions can claim the same. So higher education does have a positive economic benefit, workforce development benefit. Other questions? All right, thank you for having me.
Thank you for
Thank
being with us.